All right, so I don't know if those of you remember, but some weeks ago I did a video on cost of living adjustments for Social Security. And one of the things I was very much interested in after I did that, because I basically said that, the last cost of living adjustment was not necessarily adequate for the changes in the consumer price index. And I thought about it for a little while, and then I was basically thinking, well, if that's a trend, then I would think over time I would see the I would see cost of living adjustments um, accumulating quite a bit less than what inflation had accumulated to, right? Over the years. And so what I found was kind of interesting. I was able to find all the cost of living adjustment increases from 1975 to 2024. And you can see in this here, you can see all the cost of living adjustments. Some are quite large, right? You have in the early years, I get that because inflation was much higher back in the 70s and the early 80s. But you can see there were some fairly good adjustments. I mean, in 22, it adjusted 8.7%. The year before that, it was 5.9%. So you can see that over the years, it's adjusted quite well. Now, if you look at the consumer price index, you can see as well, how much inflation has occurred over the years. There was one year where we had sort of, I guess you'd call it a negative, I guess it was a recession, where inflation was negative in that particular year. But you can see that cumulatively, they're pretty well, if you look at the long term, if you're more interested in than is what is happening today, you can see over the long run that the cost of living adjustments uh, have kept pace for the most part. There is maybe a slight difference, but I would assume over the next year that'll be addressed, whatever that is, and maybe inflation will come down a little bit, and so that'll balance out again. So I think the good news is the Social Security Administration and the government have done a pretty good job of making sure that the cost of living adjustments have stayed pace with the consumer price index. So I was glad to see that in the data. And we'll do more videos like this, but I think it was a good exercise.